Hospitalizations are holding steady, and overall, I'd say that our transmission levels and data have plateaued right now. We're still at a place where community transmission is fairly high. So it's important that we all continue to take steps to prevent COVID-19 transmission in our communities, like getting vaccinated if you're eligible. If you're eligible for a booster, please make sure that you consider getting a booster now. Wear a mask indoors in public setting. That helps to reduce spreading COVID to other people. And if you're home, stay sick. Even if you test negative for COVID, there are other respiratory viruses circulating in our community right now, and we want to make sure that everybody stays healthy and safe. And lastly, consider testing before and after you travel or gather, just to make sure you don't inadvertently pass COVID-19 on to someone else. And I think that's just a kind of a brief overview of where we are in Monterey County, and I'd be happy to take any questions folks may have.
Thank you very much, Christy. For those with questions for Christy, go ahead and put them in chat. Really glad you mentioned the travel advisory. I think everyone's so anxious to travel and visit that they may have forgotten all the protocols that we've been drilled into our heads for the last 2 years. So it's just one of those good reminders. So I do have a question for you, Christy, and we'll go ahead and get started. The CDC reports that Omicron makes up about 95% of infections now in the region that includes California, with the BA.5 variant representing about 52% of infections. What should we know about the BA.5, sorry if I said number wrong before, the BA.5 subvariant of Omicron?
So Omicron's been the dominant strain in California for a long time. We're seeing our public health labs whole genome sequencing data is consistent what CDC is showing for our region. And that is our latest whole genome sequencing data from our public health labs. It shows that about 50% of the specimens that are sequenced are the BA.5 variant. So what we know about the BA.5 variant so far is that it seems to be more transmissible than other subvariants of COVID-19. And we've seen that with every sequential subvariant of Omicron, they've been more contagious. The other more disturbing thing that we're starting to see with BA.5 is that we're seeing more repeat infections. So people who have had COVID in the past are getting it again. And we're also seeing an increase in post-vaccination cases. The BA.5 subvariant may be able to escape our immune system better than some of the other subvariants we've seen so far. That's why it's important to keep taking those measures that I discussed earlier to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Thank you very much for that. Any other questions for Christy? So here's another one for you. In Monterey County, about 88% of those eligible have received at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and about 79% are fully vaccinated. But only about 53% are fully vaccinated with one booster. Why is it important to get boosters as soon as an individual becomes eligible for one?
Unfortunately, what we've seen with COVID-19 is that our immunity to COVID-19 wanes over time, whether it's from getting COVID-19 or being vaccinated. So to keep our immunity levels really high to protect against hospitalization and severe illness, it's important to boost our immunity. And that's the CDC and FDA have set up a schedule for us right now of when we're eligible for boosters, and that's based on some data about that waning immunity. So if you're eligible for a booster, it's really important that you do get one now so that you are best protected against COVID-19 as you can be.
Thank you. Any other questions for Christy today on COVID-19? Waiting a couple more seconds. I think you're going to get away with just 2 questions today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us, even for a short time. So we're going to move on to our next topic, which is a summit on homelessness, which is going to take place on July 14th. 4 agencies, the County of Monterey, the Community Foundation of Monterey County, the Coalition of Homeless Services Providers, and Monterey Bay Economic Partnership have all come together to host this first local summit on homelessness. It's going to take place on July 14th, as I mentioned. It's virtual, and it will take place from 9, the hours will be from 9 to 1. It's a 4-hour deep dive into all the complex issues of homelessness. If you are a city or community leader, this summit is for you, and we are really encouraging you to register for this. So we're very pleased to have Roxanne Wilson, who is with the Coalition of Homeless Services Providers, to join us today to walk through the agenda for this. It's 4 hours, but boy, Roxanne, we have really packed in a lot of issues in 4 hours. So walk us through the agenda for the 14th.
Well, thank you so much. Sorry, my computer looked like it was freezing. So the intention of the summit, right, is to build a baseline knowledge so all stakeholders can be informed when making decisions and about how their communities can lean into solving the homeless crisis. I mean, we've heard it over and over again, like people want to help, they just don't know exactly how. So we have a steering committee with all of the entities that you had mentioned earlier, and we put together a comprehensive agenda that will help everyone understand the problem as a whole and also helps give solutions to city municipalities that they can utilize, from something as simple as like setting up a safe parking program and to something a little bit more complex, like converting a hotel into housing. So I'm going to share the agenda now, if you don't mind. If I can find it, that would be the first step. There we go. All right, I'm going to make it larger as well, just so we can talk through this. At the summit, we plan on talking about the 5-year plan to reduce homelessness. So the 5-year plan alone was a major collaborative effort between the coalition representing the continuum of care and the Leadership Council, also with the County of Monterey, various departments, behavioral health department, and DSS all worked on this. Also with the City of Salinas and the County of San Benito, because our continuum of care is a 2-county region. So we'll also release the 2022 point in time numbers. During the pandemic, there was a lot of money that came into this community, right? And we want to talk about like how that funding, that increase of funding has impacted our ability to address the crisis. We will talk about the faces behind the numbers. The homeless youth crisis by itself needed to be pulled out because we had just done a racial disparities analysis and we've learned a lot just about youth. So we want to share that with the community. We'll also be working with stakeholders, not just from within Monterey County, but also like external stakeholders, people who are working on homelessness in their jurisdictions. And we're bringing them all to the table so we can just be more solutions oriented and think about how we can incorporate some of these other solutions into our community. We're also very excited to have the state of California's Deputy Secretary on Homelessness join us, along with the special assistant to the mayor of homeless initiatives of the city of Houston and the homeless services manager for the city of Fremont. So if you're in this world, you probably have heard that the city of Houston has 25,000 people in the past 10 years. So we want, they're going to join us to tell us like how their approach went and how they were able to be so successful. And while this event is targeted to decision makers of city jurisdictions, we invite the general public to learn about homelessness as well. What we do know is that not one entity can do this alone. I think pre-pandemic, there was a lot of agencies that were trying to do it, but it was kind of siloed. And because of the pandemic, we all banded together and we learned that our resources are very complementary to each other. So we're just here to invite everybody else to the table and also for them to just learn more about homelessness in depth. Our community itself has issues that a lot of communities don't have, right? So how do we like navigate these situations in our community? We have a lot of solutions. And also one last thing is people can register at chsp.org. As soon as you get to the website, the very first banner of the website invites you to register. If you just click on that, it'll take you to the registration page. We're very excited. We have about 300 people already registered, and we're willing to, keep increasing our webinar cap if we, surpass the 500 limit that we have. So again, we're very excited. We've never done anything like this in our community before, and we hope that it really energizes everybody to realize that if we all lean in, we can have significant impacts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roxanne, for walking us through this agenda, which I don't know how you're going to manage to get this information in 4 hours. So people are going to have to listen carefully. We're also very pleased to have Supervisor Wendy Root Askew join us today just to make some comments. We have two supervisors who are going to be bookends on the agenda. Supervisor Luis Alejo will be opening and Supervisor Askew will be wrapping up the event. Thank you, Supervisor, for joining us today.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I just want to share a little bit of background that the direction for this summit originated last year at the joint meeting that the County of Monterey supervisors had with our City of Salinas council members. We know that solutions to the homelessness and housing crisis require all of our cities and businesses and school districts and nonprofit partners, really everyone in our community. We need to be aligned in our efforts to implement solutions. So this summit is jam-packed with information, with resources. While it's open to the public and we encourage anyone from the public who has interest or cares about these issues to participate and attend, we really are hoping that all of our local elected leaders from our city councils from all 12 cities are going to be able to participate. We're inviting school board trustees, we're inviting appointed officials to join us. We know that in order to move our plans forward, we need buy-in and understanding and really a shared vision across all of our jurisdictions. So this is one more step that we're taking to really move the needle forward, to align our efforts so that we can have a sustained impact towards getting people into housing and off of the streets.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. I don't have any questions for you in chat, but I do have a question for one or the both of you. When the public looks at homelessness, they see what is in their neighborhood. They see what is near in their city center, maybe somebody that they drive by and they see that they are homeless. And it's a little, you use the word silo. Will the summit help people realize it's not a little problem in one community? There are more of our neighbors who are homeless than most of us know.
Yeah, that's the reality behind it. The spectrum of homelessness is so wide, right? And like you had mentioned, we tend to have a visualization in our head of what homelessness looks like. But the reality is we have no idea, right? In Fremont, for example, they have 40% of their people are living inside of vehicles. And that is something where we can all really understand, right? If you were to become homeless, if I was to become homeless, the first stop would be my vehicle. So how do we catch those folks and make sure we redirect them back inside, right? There are so many students who go to school with our children. There are teachers who are experiencing homelessness. This spectrum is very big, and we have got to think about all of the folks that are experiencing homelessness, because if we just do nothing, it will get worse. And I think what we've learned is when we all work together, things get better. So we're just going to keep drilling that into everyone's head. We have spaces at the table, and we're inviting everybody to sit with us and really come from a solutions-oriented lens, and for us to stop making up excuses on why this is not ever going to go away, because it will, as long as we all agree to work on it together. Thank
you both very much for giving a real thorough look at the agenda. And our hope is that people will take the time to register and really get educated. Even if you're a resident of the community and want to know more, if you see one or two people or hear somebody that you may know of that may have this problem, here's a chance to find out not only what the real problem is like, but also how to help, what programs are out there to help. Thank you both very much. And I know we'll be seeing you next Thursday on the 14th. And our final topic, we are very pleased to have our friend Jody Rogers from the Alliance on from the Alliance on Aging. The Alliance is opening up their hub. They're having a ribbon cutting and grand opening tomorrow. And if you have an older relative, this might be a terrific place to help this family member get resources or find out even how to use their iPad. Hi, Jody, thanks very much for joining us. Tell us about the hub.
So earlier this year, the Alliance on Aging, we had this long-time vision that we really wanted to have services all in one spot. So it just happened that we could do it. We expanded our footprint to include 236 Monterey Street. So it's directly behind our offices at 247 Main Street here in Salinas. And during that time, we created this hub, which is kind of a unique model that includes six of our programs, which includes Medicare counseling, senior peer counseling, long-term care ombudsman, the tax counseling and preparation, and benefits checkup, transportation assistance. And now we have 6 other nonprofit senior providers that are included here at the hub that you can get services for or with ITN, Monterey County, Central Coast Center for Independent Living, the Aging and Disabilities Resource Connection, who are partnering with the county, CECL partners with the county on this, and it's actually a virtual resource, but we've kind of brought it here. So if you have questions, you can get referrals here through that also. We also have the Blind and Visually Impaired Center and Legal Services for Seniors and Ecology Action. So these are all nonprofit senior providers. And we also offer presentations and activities at the hub, which we're super excited about. We have technology training for seniors with our partners, Loaves, Fishes, and Computers. So they're here twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday, offering one-on-one sessions by appointment for seniors to learn about their cell phone, their laptop, whatever they might need. We have Senior Market Day with our partner Front Porch. That's on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of the month from 10 to 12, where we have fresh produce. It's farm fresh produce, and we're selling it at cost. So it's what you see at the farmers markets, but you're getting it for what it costs to actually go out and purchase it from the farmers. We accept cash or EBT for that. So it's a really great program. Age Well Drive Smart, we do the 4th Wednesday of every month. We offer that in English and in Spanish. From the morning is the English, the afternoon is the Spanish. And this is a workshop that's presented by a CHP officer to help older drivers continue to be able to drive. Then on Mondays, we have Tai Chi. We have Lotteria every other Friday. We have a walking group every Wednesday for the next 9 weeks. We're partnering with the Blue Zones Project on that. And something new that we're going to be doing is a memorial art workshop, which I'm super excited about. We're partnering with Coastal Kids and Heal Together for that. And the first workshop is going to be on August 17th at 10 o'clock, and it'll be keepsake tints. So it's a little bit kind of hard to explain, but it's not necessarily just a loss like a death, but also because seniors lose a lot of things when you start losing your ability to drive, your mobility. And these things are kind of like little remembrances of those better times. And you can look at that and continue to see it and show it. And it draws in a conversation about what where sometimes that conversation isn't really easy to start up. So, they see a piece of jewelry that you've made and, oh, that's a beautiful piece of jewelry. And they'll say something like, oh, well, this is because my husband passed away, or this is from when I could drive and my car was going, it was fun, better times. And then moving through grief, we're also doing that with the same Coastal Kids and Heal Together. It's going to be with a lady called Dr. Sunny. She's really, really upbeat and really great. And it's going to be kind of a yoga type, moving meditation, that type of class, and some journaling's involved in it. We do our Aging at the Movies. We're going to start another one on October 10th. So we'll have a fall series. We just ended our spring series. And it's a movie that's focused on older adults. It's facilitated by two of our senior peer counselors. And the conversation, there's a conversation and recap afterwards. So it's not just watching the movie. They talk about the movie and how it affects them and what they thought about it. And then we are also there's some other stuff coming up, just lots of stuff. We're going to be providing bridge, healthy meal prep, purpose workshops with Blue Zones. We do vaccine clinics. Just a quick picture I'm going to share with you guys. It's some of the stuff we have been doing, and kind of a look at the hub. So here is the arch in the back. I don't know if you're familiar with 236 Monterey Street, but we're right across from Tony's Jewelers. And this is the arch off of the parking lot. This is our reception area in the hub. This was during a VNA flu vaccination. Obviously, she's getting her flu shot. This wasn't the vaccine, the flu. This was when we did the COVID boosters. This is our Lotteria. This was our first one. So we were really happy. We had quite a good crowd. This is what our senior technology training. This lady here is getting some training. She's about ready to start. And this is our internet cafe where you can come in and just sit with a friend, have a cup of coffee, talk, socialize. This is our conference room where we're offering our presentations. And this is our community room. And this is just a picture of, maybe I can make it bigger because this looks really great. That's our produce that we offer. So here, I'm trying to not share this anymore and it's not coming up. I'll just close it. Sorry, guys, I'm not seeing where I can share this anymore.
Don't say
You
that.
know what? Never mind. I'm double screened. I always forget I got the double screen going on and it's over on the other screen. So
Well, there's a hub for that, right?
Exactly. So as she said, we are going to be having our grand opening / reopening. Because during this whole time, we also remodeled our offices to give us the room to put in our Spirals by the Arch benefit store. So we're going to do the ribbon cutting tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock for Spirals by the Arch and for the hub. So the actual grand opening starts at 4. You can come in, get a tour, look around, and see what we've done here.
Thanks very much for walking us through this. And if there are any questions for Jody, please put them in chat. But Jody, it sounds like you've really created something for seniors who can come and be comfortable and gather, come and get information, get out of the house. We've seniors were initially the most endangered by COVID. They stayed home. There was a lot of isolation, and now they can come and meet with people, get services directly, talk to people about the issues or the needs that they have. Was that some of the reason behind the hub?
That was exactly the reason behind the hub. Social isolation for seniors has always been such a big issue, and COVID just really accentuated that, just made it worse. It exacerbated it. It just was, we were calling people every day during the time, especially at the beginning, just to make sure they were okay and if they needed anything. And so we want them to feel comfortable to come out and to be together and to socialize and be able to get the services that they need. So yes, that's really the whole model behind this, was just to have it all under one roof. So it's really easy for them to get here. And with our transportation program, if there's transportation issues, we can work with them with that and have an ITN here as a plus for that. Yeah, so we're really excited.
Would you give the address and time of the event tomorrow again?
Yeah, it's at 247 Main Street, Salinas, or you can come at 236 Monterey Street, either way, in the back or the front. It's a full open. That's what's nice. We can go back and forth now. We have this whole big, huge space here now. And the actual the grand opening starts at 4 o'clock. The ribbon cutting is at 5. And that'll be out front. We're gonna have a little toast, and yeah, it'll be fun. There'll be food.
Congratulations on this achievement and launching this, and hope your ribbon cutting goes well and everyone flocks to you.
Thank you. So if you know of anybody who needs any of these services or wants to, just talk about what we have to offer, you can, my phone number here is 646-4931. I'm the one that's managing the hub. So, or if they want to sign up for computer training or for any of these presentations or activities we have going on.
And we will follow up with all of our participants with your phone number, Jody, so they will have it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing for today. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.